Sharpe, Hoops, welcome to the Hex Suite. Run me through the uncertainty that is attached to retiring from rugby as a player.
You get to a point where you're like, geez, Tuesday training's hard, geez, Thursday training's hard. You're like, I don't know how much longer I can do this for at this pace and run at this pace. Yeah, actually, what am I going to do next? That's the moment where you go, I need to start thinking about putting in some plans to go, okay, well, what do I want? What am I going to get up in the morning and really look forward to? And that's when you, I guess, start putting in the, who do I need to speak to? Who's done it before? Who can give me advice? What do I actually want to do? And put some time and thought into that, because by that time in your career, usually turning up to play on the weekend is like it's a rinse and repeat. Yeah. You know what gets you there.
I used to fall asleep before games when I got old. Some would probably say I was asleep on the field, but anyway.
Sharpe, you've obviously been out of the game for a little bit longer than Hoops. Actually, like quite a bit longer now that I think about it. Yeah. What is life like for you now, away from the day-to-day of playing for Australia?
It feels like a long time ago when Hoops is talking about the day-to-day of training and all the rest of it. I kind of shudder and cringe a bit because I don't think I could do that anymore. But when I retired, I was lucky enough to partner up with a good mate of mine. We built a business. That went okay. We sold that and then started another mining advisory. A lot of the lessons that I learned on the field translate into building teams outside of it. I've really enjoyed trying to find ways of taking those principles and deploying them into the business industries.
What's your one non-negotiable as a leader?
You've got to create the environment for people to succeed. You appreciate that everyone's different, they're going to have different strengths. Rather than focusing on those weaknesses, put the people that have those strengths in the right position and let them flourish. Think about how that happens in rugby. The best leaders will do that, and it's the same in business.
Yeah, I like that word flourish that Sharpe used. All you want is to get your team turning up and they feel completely confident in the preparation, completely confident in themselves to go out there, because the outcome then just usually leads to a lot better result.
A lot of the things that I've recognised in sport was that, you know, on the footy field, I certainly wasn't the fastest. I probably wasn't the most skillful, but I could play a part. And so, you know, we've set to go and build a team where we rely on each other's strengths and we rely really strongly on partnerships.
What word of advice would each of you have for those who are still not just playing rugby, but playing any sort of sport, and how they can best set themselves up for success?
I think surround yourself with good people. There'll come a time when you are going to step out, you allow them to be part of that journey, then they'll want to be part of the journey going forward. And not everyone can do everything. You need a helping hand.
Run at it really hard. So you got the scales and you're trying to balance the scales. Put a lot of energy into trying to be the best player in the world, be part of the best team in the world. Yep. Just make sure that at some stage you're evening those scales out at points. Why I say that is because when you do run hard at whatever goal it is, it teaches you, because you've got to go to the well a lot. And you start to realise how you're built, what strengths you have, like we mentioned earlier, and that will then carry you into, you know, the post-footy world or post, sport life.
As you always say, why not both? Surround yourselves with the best people and take good balance. Yeah. Hoops, Sharpe, thank you.
Thank you.
When you